Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. Today we'll be covering on International Economic Group Assignment. The title of our presentation today will be World Trade Organization. Our group consists of four members, which are Nur Alisa binti Nur Azman, Nurdini Aida binti Nur Izham, Anastasia Isabella binti Osman, and Muhammad Sharimi bin Muhammad Sazali. First, we will be starting the slides with Alisa covering on the history of World Trade Organization. Then, Dini Aida will continue the slides covering on function, objectives, and achievement of World Trade Organization. Later, Anastasia or me will be covering on the trade disputes involving of World Trade Organizations. At the end of the slide, Sharimi will take over the slide, discussing over important issues involving WTO and provide the conclusion at the end of the slide.
Established in 1995, the World Trade Organization (WTO) is a global institution responsible for regulating international trade rules between nations. This organization replaced the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade (GATT) of 1947, which was established following World War II. The majority of the world's trade nations have signed agreements that form the basis of WTO, helping producers of goods and services as well as exporters and importers protect and manage their businesses is the primary role of the organization. In 1991, the WTO comprises 164 member countries, with Liberia and Afghanistan being the latest members who joined in July 2016. Additionally, there are 25 observer countries and governments. The origins of the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade (GATT) can be traced back to the 1944 Bretton Woods Conference, where the groundwork was laid for the post-World War II financial system and creation of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. At the same conference, there was a proposal to create another institution known as International Trade Organization (ITO), which was intended to be the third pillar of the system. The United States and the United Kingdom played a key role in the newly formed United Nations in drafting the proposed ITO Charter. These negotiations culminated in the signing of the Havana Charter in March 1948. The Havana Charter did not enter into the force because it was not ratified by the U.S. Senate. As a result, ITO was stillborn. At the same time, parallel negotiations were also held for a multilateral agreement to reduce mutual payment barriers. As a result of these negotiations, the GATT was concluded on November 30, 1947. Several signatories, including the United States, ratified the GATT and it entered into force on January 1, 1948. Under the Protocol of District Requests, negotiations continued for the ITO Charter. The GATT survived the collapse of the ITO, but lacked a regulatory framework because the negotiators expected the agreement to fall under the ITO umbrella. Despite its institutional shortcomings, the GATT served as an international organization, sponsoring 8 rounds of multilateral trade negotiations. The Uruguay round from 1987 to 1994 culminated in the Marrakech Agreement that created the World Trade Organization (WTO). The WTO consolidates GATT principles and provides a coherent administrative framework for their application and extension.
Hi, I will continue this presentation video on function, objective, and achievement. Here the function of WTO. The WTO agreements cover goods, service, and intellectual property. They spell out the principle of liberation and the permitted exception. They include individual countries' commitments to lower custom tariff and other trade barriers, and open and keep open services markets. They set procedure for settling dispute. These agreements are not static. They are renegotiated from time to time and new agreements can be added to the package. Furthermore, WTO agreements require government to make their trade policy transparent by notifying the WTO about laws enforced and measures adopted. Moreover, the WTO procedure for resolving trade quarrels under the dispute settlement understanding is vital for enforcing the rules and therefore for ensuring that flow smoothly. If nations believe their rights under the agreement are being violated, they can file challenges with the WTO. The WTO organizes hundreds of technical cooperation missions to developing countries annually. Last, for the function, it also holds numerous courses each year in Geneva for government officials. For the objective, the fundamental goal of the WTO is to improve the welfare of people around the world. The WTO founding Marrakesh Agreement recognizes that trade should be conducted to raise standards of living, ensure full employment, increase real income, and expand global trade in goods and services while allowing for the optimal use of the world resources. WTO rules support maintaining trade barriers, for example, to protect consumers or the environment. The system's overriding purpose is to help trade flow as freely as possible provided there are no undesirable side effects because this stimulates economic growth and employment and support the integration of developing countries into the international trading system. The WTO overarching goal is to assist its members in using trade as a tool to enhance people's lives, create jobs, and raise living standards. The World Trade Organization manages world trade regulation and assists emerging nations in increasing their trading potential. A lot of achievement that World Trade Organization makes. The WTO opened its door to the public on 9 June to welcome visitors and thank its host city Geneva for many years of support. Around 4,000 people came to explore the WTO headquarters and learn about the organization's role in facilitating trade and building global prosperity. Another achievement is the achievement of the informal working group on micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises were highlighted in the report launched by the coordinator of the group, Ambassador Jose Luis Cancela. On the 12th June, in the margin of the WTO's 12th Ministerial Conference, the report outlined the progress achieved by the group since it was created in 2017 and set out the group's roadmap for helping more small businesses benefit from international trade. A follow-up session of the 2023 advanced course on the WTO agreement on the application of sanitary and phytosanitary measures took place in Geneva from 10 to 13 June. The session offered the 19 participants from various WTO members and observers government the opportunity to report on the progress and result of the action plan to address SPS implementation challenge.
Hi, I am Anastasia, and today I will be covering the trade dispute within the WTO. A dispute arises when one country adopts a trade policy measure or takes some action that one or more fellow of WTO members consider to be breaking the agreements or to be a failure to live up to the obligations set. A third group of countries can declare that they have an interest in the case and enjoy some rights. Resolving trade dispute is one of the core activities of WTO. A dispute arises when a member government believes another member government is violating an agreement or a commitment that it has made in the WTO. The WTO has one of the most active international dispute settlement mechanisms in the world. Since 1995, over 500 disputes have been brought to the WTO and over 350 rulings have been issued. 5 major trade disputes settled by the World Trade Organization includes the Brazil-Canada aircraft dispute, the European Union-United States Foreign Sales Corporation dispute, the Asian-United States shrimp and sea turtle dispute, and the United States-European Union beef hormone dispute. The flowchart in the slide describes the dispute settlement process within the WTO. When a member refers to a complaint to the WTO, the disputing parties, the complainant, and the respondent begin consultations with the goal of finding a mutually agreed solution. If this consultation fails, the parties may seek resolution by a dispute settlement panel established by the dispute settlement body. Panel rulings can be appealed to the appellate body. According to the appellate body's most recent annual report, from 1996 to the first half of 2020, approximately 67% of panel rulings were appealed.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Sharimi Sazali. So I would like to continue diving into the topics of the World Trade Organizations for focusing in the important issues in World Trade Organization. Here we're going to the first subtopic, which is trade war. So basically, trade war are the conflict between nation and also characteristic by escalating the tariff and other trade barrier. For example, that may cause the often triggered by the protectionist measure aimed at shielding for the domestic industry or addressing trade imbalance. And we can see, for example, recently that the trade tension between China and US that may impact to the global markets. So the second one is developing and also vs developed country. So basically, global trade often accentuate disparities between developing and developed nation, and also it will bring impact to the challenges for developing countries, which is they will give the limited bargaining power, dependency on primary commodities. And also the interesting part is for advantage if we develop the countries, maybe we can access to the advanced technologies and also capital and establish a market in the country. Next is modernizations. So basically, modernization refer to the adoptions of advanced technologies and practice to enhance productivity and competitiveness. And also modernization divided into three, which is first one is technological, social, second one is the last one is global impact. And lastly, for the important issue is global trade agreements. So what is the purpose of the trade agreement? So trade agreement aim to reduce barriers, promote predictability, and stimulate the economic growth. So I can pick one of the successful stories for the global trade agreement, which is agreement like NAFTA and AFTA. Now they will call USMCA, and the EU single market that have facilitated the regional integration and economic prosperity. Lastly is conclusion. So what can I conclude for the World Trade Organization? So basically, World Trade Organization plays a crucial roles in fostering a rule based on a global trading system that promote fairness, openness, and stability. And also, as a stakeholder in the global economy, we also need to support effort to strengthen and reform the WTO, the World Trade Organizations, to more inclusive and sustainable in the future.